Okay, so Halo 1 HD Remake, what would that mean for all you guys out there that have an Xbox 360? What would that mean to you? And let me get your thoughts on it.
First of all, I like to go back to the whole God of War thing. Yo, that's gonna be sick, son.
Yeah, it is.
I got 2 games to cop that month, kid. Call of Duty 5 and the God of War 2. We forgot to mention that it's coming with trophies for both games.
Yo, and that's another thing. Now, you see how people
love trophies.
You see how people go crazy over the Xbox 360 and achievements? That right there is crazy. But, you know, to bring back old games and to have trophies in it, I mean, that's amazing too, because you have a lot of people that's trophy whores, achievement whores, and they want what they want. And by them putting that into that game, you don't think they want to get a Platinum God of War 1 trophy? They'll do it. They will do it.
Fiending for it.
Now, Halo HD Remake, what kind of impact do you think it'll have? You know,
I think it'll have a big impact. I mean, Halo was Microsoft's ace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was his first love. That was like that girl when you first meet her, she's so silky. You first get that and you can't do no better than that right there. You know what I mean? That's your first. That was your first. You know what I mean? So I feel that everybody has an affinity for Halo.
Yeah.
And Halo 1 set it off. So if they come back out with an HD Halo, you know what I mean? They do a little bit of balancing with the online.
Yeah.
It'll be sick. That'll be it'll be a chokehold for Sony. They're gonna have to retaliate. But the God of War is the thing.
That's good too. You know what I'm saying? So
that's gonna sell systems right there.
Now, to me, I feel that, you know, with the whole Halo 1 HD Remake, that comes back and that's successful, and God of War is successful, then hopefully these developers, you know, realize that, you know, you can make these big budget $40 million games, that's great, but look at Barnes & Venture, that's coming back. Like, oh, you know, there's a lot of great games coming back, and the reason why I feel it's important for this particular generation is because this is the first time we ever seen consoles go HD. And so it's not like you just getting a small little upgrade from PS1 to PS2. You're getting something that's leaps and bounds. So I think we should see that. Now, I want to move on. Rare. Right? Now, Peter Molyneux spoke about, you know, his affiliation with Rare and the Natals, and it's amazing. And Microsoft is supporting Natals, and I already confirmed that they are bundling the package for next year. I already confirmed it. But let me tell you this. Rare, a lot of people was counting them out, including me, because I expected to see so much more from them. I mean, Microsoft, you know, invested in them to produce. But come to find out, it seems like their main production is coming from the Project Natal. I had no idea that they was actually putting their heart and soul into Natal and Natal only. So from what I know, the reason why we haven't seen Rare in this Rare form or 360 box is because Project Natal been in development for so long, and that's what they kept that company for. Because you understand, Rare has that casual development, like, repertoire. You see what I'm saying? And to me, I feel like if they bring that to Project Natal, which is that casual market that they're trying to grab, they got the perfect developer for it. So I'm like, oh, so now it's starting to unveil itself and be more understanding of how Project Natal is going to take things further. Now, one thing I want to say about Natal that a lot of people don't really talk about is that you could take a physical object and hold it up to the camera, and it scans it, and then you can actually use that object as if it's a part of the game. So imagine, you know, games where like you may have to use something and you can actually take something from your house or anything and utilize it as a part of the game. That's revolutionary, and I want to know what you think about, you know, the direction of Project Natal, because so many people, they talk about it, but then they try to downplay it. Some people love it. To me, I think it's great because it's new, and that's what we look for in games. And you being a game developer, how do you feel about Project Natal, you know, when they first showed it, and how it could forward Microsoft's, you know, console and the overall brand?
I would be a little bit more happier if I heard that XNA would have some kind of extension to Project Natal. Where I can actually make a game for Natal, not necessarily on the same level that they have out there already, but just something similar to that where I can actually interact with the user without having a physical controller. That would be sick. I would feel a lot better about Natal about that. But from what I'm hearing, it seems like there's a limited amount of developers working on Natal games.
It is.
And that's making me think that it's gonna be a PSI light. So what I'm saying, it's not even, it's gonna be a carbon copy. But something else I want to speak on, which is sick, you mentioned Rare. Now, not only does Rare have a casual consumer base, but they have the sickest, ridiculous, most hardcore consumer base with Killer Instinct.
Yes.
What is wrong with y'all? Put Killer Instinct out, yo.
I'll tell you right now.
Everybody in their moms is gonna buy Killer Instinct.
Yes, they will.
I will rebuy a 360 if it only came
with Killer.
If I could only get Killer Instinct with that, I would spend $500 on a new 360. Well, it's $299 now. I would spend $299 just to get Killer Instinct beat.
And you know what's so funny? Son. I would too. And Killer Instinct and Killer Instinct, I'm gonna give you an example. In one of the videos that they show with Project Natal, they show how a person could fight and stuff like that. Think about the possibilities. The reason why I really brought this whole Natal thing up is because Peter Molyneux is very smart, you know what I'm saying? And Microsoft knows what they're doing. Now, yes, we the consumers, we can speak and we can speak our mind and say whatever we want. But I'm gonna tell you like this. These companies know what they're doing. That's why they're in this business and that's why they're continuing to grow. And I'm telling you, when Project Natal come out, you know, don't just look at the E3 and be like, all I can do is this, oh, that's gonna get corny or boring. No, there's some actually some heavy hitting games. Games like Alan Wake that's gonna come out. The games of that high standard and quality that's going to come out, that's going to support Natal in ways that we probably can't even imagine. Now I'm going to give you one example on ways we can't imagine. The Milo demo. Imagine that whole scene, that Milo demo, how you talk to them or give them a paper and everything like that. Imagine that whole scene being recreated in a game like Alan Wake where you're actually talking to Alan and he talks to you and then you play. Like, you never know what can happen, and these are all the possibilities. That's why I really wanted to bring it up. Alright, so anything else you want to add to it before we move on to something special?
I don't know, with Natal, I think that really, like, if you guys watch the Truth in Game Development, when I was talking to Genova Chin, he actually talked to the company that was behind Natal from beginning, and he was saying that, you know, their technology wasn't that advanced then, you know, and it made him believe that the whole E3 setup was just a fraud. It was just they set it up and it was pre-recorded stuff that Milo might not necessarily be able to recognize things and recognize voices that clearly, because Apple, which is one of the most, I feel that they're the highest as well as far as breaking new technology out.
Good information.
They can't even get voice recognition right 100% of the time. So now for Microsoft to come out with this new peripheral that is supposed to get everyone's accent perfectly and all their syllables, even people with a list, the character's supposed to understand that. That's kind of hard to believe.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe. But all we can go on is from what we saw.
And you know Microsoft throws smoke and mirrors all the time. Sony does it too.
Yeah, Sony does it too. But I will say this: from what I saw, regardless of smoke and mirrors, from what I saw, the concept behind that is amazing, and I hope Microsoft pulled through, because at the end of the day, it just means more great gaming for us. Alright, so we about to move on to the next joint. The next joint is this. Now, this is another thing I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna say it, and I ain't gonna put no question mark behind it. Y'all know how I get down, right? APB is coming to Xbox 360. APB is coming to Xbox 360. I know y'all like, oh, hip-hop gamer running his mouth, or how you know this, how you know that. Well, there's been a lot of things I've been right about, and you guys know what I'm talking about, so I ain't gonna even get into that. But I will say this, right?
Don't tell me.
The Xbox 360 is, I was told, just like a lot of people was told, that it depends on how the PC, you know, turn off, how the PC turn out when it's released. Come to find out, though, is that the game was actually being tested on the Xbox 360's Xbox Live, on the dev kit. Yes, the dev kit. It was actually being tested and stuff like that. And the reason why it's being tested is because a lot of people know that, like, Xbox Live, they don't really have that open, like, network that a lot of developers want. Now, if you look at on the Sony side, how you got the, like, a lot of MMOs, the agency and EverQuest and everything, their system is more open. And you know, Microsoft, and my man Major Nelson, shout out to Major Nelson, he said it. He always watched the competition because he wants to win. Straight up, he told me that. All right. Now, considering APB is the Grand Theft Auto of MMOs and everything, Microsoft is not going to sleep on that. Now, the thing that's pretty interesting for them to be working on this dev kit, like, you know, with Xbox Live, the reason why I was told, the reason why that they was doing it is because Microsoft themselves want to see if they could bring out MMO.